The Suntuitive Glass system addresses the typical challenges for us in a very unique way. It provides the benefit of maintaining the view out when you're in that full exposure. But as the conditions change, as you turn to an overcast type of situation, the tinting level gradually lessens in the film as the heat dissipates. And so it allows the appropriate amount of daylight to enter into the building envelope and into the interior spaces. Whereas if we had chosen a mirrored glass application, it wouldn't have that type of control difference to tell the difference from an overcast day versus a bright sunny day. An important part of the design process is to include daylight whenever you can into the building. Owners do recognize the value, the productivity of workers go up. The unique thing about the Suntuitive product is it allowed us to basically still incorporate all of the standard components that we have in an insulated glass unit. It will darken by the heat gain in the glass. It doesn't require electronics. It's not an electrochromatic system. You don't have controls and all the complications that are associated with a system like this. This is a system that works 24/7. The Suntuitive film allows us to mitigate the solar heat gain and preserve the views to the exterior when you're in a full sun application. You can have tinted glass, clear glass. You can change the location of the tinted glass where you put that in there. So there's tons of design options that you have that can be custom to the east, west, south, and north orientations of the building. Your view is always maintained from the interior to the exterior. Your daylighting levels are always what you want, but it's extremely dynamic from the exterior. You're now able to see into the building when that glazing facade is in the shade. Another attribute is it takes the peaks out of your cooling load. It makes the cooling much more even throughout the building. You don't have spots that are overcooled because another area is getting so much solar heat gain to it. There's acoustical benefits also. There's a much more higher noise reduction coefficient for the glazing. It's also the same polybutyl film that you would see in a laminated glass project that's required for skylights or for sloped glazing or hurricane areas. There's a tornado or something along that lines. It's a safer product. And then of course you're going to have lower energy cost. So when you factor all of those benefits in, there's payback over it. A lot of the modern homes that we do have large walls of glass that we could only do on a north wall like you have here in the studio. Well, now we can incorporate that on a west, south, or east wall. So we're actually seeing our clients, as they have more exposure to the project, wanting to bring that into their homes out of the office. That's really what sells the product. It's getting it into the owner's current buildings and letting them see how that changes the interior environment. Some projects that we've recently been able to incorporate the Suntuitive system on are the Eberspacher manufacturing facility and office headquarters in Brighton, Michigan. The Suntuitive system there allowed us to eliminate the interior shades in the offices and general office spaces, and it allowed to maintain the views both into the building and outside of the building for that project. We're also working on a headquarters for Masco in the Livonia area in Michigan. And this is a building where they want a very uniform look around the entire office. And again, it's very important for them to have as much daylighting going into the interior of this space, but to not have a cluttered look of blinds on the exterior. So with a Suntuitive system, you can actually just go to a regular laminated glass for your north-facing facade. You don't need the film in that, but allows us to incorporate in both the east, west, and south facades and have a consistent detail that functions. We've always prided ourselves on, materials that have a longevity and a good record out there. And so that made us a lot easier for us to accept this product and specify it. The system's just one more tool that we have in our toolbox now, but it's given us a lot more freedom.